One thing about ZANU PF officials is that they are always actually very positive and always, seeing the other side of the world that everyone, actually, that Zimbabweans cannot see, because Zimbabweans experience the economic hardships on a daily basis. There is a currency that was introduced by the Zimbabwe government, and we were told it was going to be gold backed, but along the lines, the government changed its currency, is no longer circulating, to be frankly. But the ZANU PF members will tell you that that currency is working, and that currency is gaining strength. It is them who sees that they see can't even use, it is no longer in market. That ZIG currency, does anyone knows? In Zimbabweans, if you go to the last time I went to Zimbabwe, they were not even using this local currency. It was hard actually to accept it. Greetings and welcome on your lovely channel, that is the Cronies Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button, so that next time when we beam live, guess what, you become the very first one to watch us. So IMF is currently visiting Zimbabwe, and ZANU PF is already spinning propaganda regarding this. This may have been the reason why we saw Emmerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa all of a sudden going to the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe, actually taking pictures, being shown the so-called gold reserves, of which they are claiming now they are slightly above 3 tons. That is, if you understand the value of gold, and if you understand the value of that money, if translated, that gold, if translated to money, it's a very, very insignificant figure for one to boast about. It shows that the Zimbabwean economy is still stagnant. I think we are talking it's a very small amount. You are talking of millions. We need at least more than $1 billion in terms of maybe US dollars, in terms of reserves, or maybe if the economy of Zimbabwe can clock around maybe $5 billion US dollars reserves, then that is when we can talk of a currency that can be stable. But as of now, it remains propaganda, it remains wishful thinking that there is something positive that Mnangagwa is doing to address issues of, in truth and in reality, there is absolutely no currency in Zimbabwe at the moment. The currencies that are circulating, it is the foreign currency. That is what people use to actually buy goods and services. The local currency crashed the moment it was introduced, but obviously ZANU PF, it has been a party of propaganda since the days of Robert Mugabe. They will tell you that the economy is doing well, and now under they know there is no, if indeed there is a currency, why don't they come out at least carrying it? And if you hear Mnangagwa announcing programs relating to youth, relating to war veterans, they don't actually put the figure in the local currency of Zimbabwe, because the local currency has, in fact, it suffocated before it reached the people of Zimbabwe. So ZIG is not a currency that is acceptable by the people of Zimbabwe. It was rejected the moment it was introduced. And Mnangagwa going to the Reserve Bank, showing us that gold is too small really to boast about it as reserves. For those who understand the currency, we need actually more reserves in terms of gold, because if we had people, especially who knows fiscal discipline, if we have got people who are not corrupt, they will tell you that this is a very, very insignificant actually gold reserves to carry Zimbabwe through. And you subdivide it with the population of Zimbabwe and see how much a person gets. Then that is where you will realize that the economy of Zimbabwe hasn't taken off as individuals like Chris Mutsongo has claimed that the economy is taking off. And also that statement, they are simply exposing themselves. How can you say the economy is taking off when Mnangagwa is left with about 3 years to hand over power to the next president, because the current constitution will not allow him to actually go beyond the constitutionally prescribed 2-year term limit? We know he's fighting, he's trying to be smart to actually undermine the will of the people of Zimbabwe, as actually expressed in the constitution of 2013, that they do not want a president serve more than 2 consecutive terms. And to Mnangagwa, obviously, as disrespectful as he is to the people of Zimbabwe, he wants to be visited by IMF. It's just visits that can only be glorified by ZANU PF, not the neutral economist in Zimbabwe, or not the objective individuals who are able to actually give objective analysis regarding the currency performance at the moment. If truth be told, ZIG is a dream which actually fell at the moment it was introduced to the members of the public, and Zimbabwe have forgotten that there is even a currency called ZIG. It's a futile dream that Zimbabweans have been sold. Mnangagwa, if truth be told, he is failing Zimbabweans. The economy is failing. The economy is going down. There is absolutely nothing that is working in Zimbabwe. That is the reality. That is why people want and envisages for change. But these individuals, because they are enjoying, whilst the majority of the people of Zimbabwe actually languishing in poverty, and they have tasted power. They have tasted money that comes through corruption, the money that you don't work for. You actually give your witness files and others, Kanakas, tenders for the government. They give you your own share. They take their own share. They parade wealth, especially to those whom they want them to be on their corner. But the reality, the Zimbabwean economy is still at a sorry state. It has failed to address issues of unemployment. It has failed to address quite a number of economic related issues. Thank you very much for watching us. If you are watching us for the very first time, please do remember